Hello guys, welcome to another video of mine, and this is for the GRE students. As usual, the way we do it, 2023, if you're writing GRE, you can actually subscribe to this channel, and also if you are the type that want to do both the offline and the online classes, you can talk to me personally and I will take you through how to go about those ones. So let's quickly look at some set of popular topics that are very important that you need to keep in mind if you are writing the examination anytime soon. Now for the first question, we have two quantity. This is a quantity comparison questions, which you know you are definitely going to see. The first quantity says the average, which is also called the arithmetic mean of the length and the width of a rectangle whose perimeter is 18. Then the second quantity over there is 5. So that means you want to do a comparison of quantity. Now from this first statement, we can just quickly write, as usual, that the solution to this will be the perimeter of a rectangle. The perimeter of a rectangle is 2 open brackets, length plus width. And this is given to be equals to 18, as you can see. Now in the question also you were told that the arithmetic mean, that means you are looking for the mean of both the length and the width. So let me get the length and the width. What do I do here? 2 is the problem here. I divide the both sides by 2. So if I do that, it will be length plus width is equals to 18 divided by 2 is 9. So this is the length and the width added together. Those are two quantities. So if you want to look for the arithmetic mean, so you can say the arithmetic mean of these two quantities, just say the mean will be equals to, you have two quantities, mean of two numbers is 9 divided by 2. And what is 9 divided by 2? That is 4.5. So that means this first quantity is 4.5. And the second quantity over there is 5. So you can see that it goes without saying that the first quantity A is greater. For this type of question, you are going to pick A. So you expect something like this. I think this is those questions that are not too difficult for you to do. So let's take the next one. So the next questions are not quantity comparison questions. You also expect these in your exam. These are questions that come with options. So you have to solve and have a definite answer. So doing these, we have the sum of the areas of two squares. Still on the same topic, mensuration. 2 square regions is 30. So maybe you are the type that love to solve quadratic equations. You can say, if you are the type that like to write stories, you can easily write, let's areas of 2 squares. Let's the first sides. The sides, now I'm taking 2 sides, A and B. Now the next thing now is for me to let you guys know that the area of the square is just squaring the dimension of the side. Like for example, if the lengths are L, you want to get the area of the square. The length square will be the area of the square. So because all sides of the squares are equal. Now if you look at these guys, you can easily say from here that the sum of the two areas. So the first area A square, the second area B square, the sum, that is addition, is equals to 30. That is what that first statement is saying. Now, the consideration says if a size of the larger square region is 3 times as long as this smaller square region. So you can take any one. But what that one says is the side of one is 3 times the other one. So I can say, when we say A is equals to 3B, that is, the side of A is 3 times larger than that of B. I think these are simple things we can easily understand. So now, what I know, if I want to substitute this thing back, then the question says, what is the length of the larger region? So the larger region here is what? Is the A. So let me just do it one by one. Now if you look at this here, guys, this is going to be, I am substituting where I see A, I want to put this guy. So if I put this guy now, I'm going to have 3B squared. As you can see, please be careful about this, it's important. Plus B squared is equals to 30, right? So the next thing here is just to know that B squared will affect both. 3 squared, that is 9. B squared plus B squared is equals to 30. On simplification, 9 plus 1 is 10. So 10B squared is equals to 30. You can say B squared is equals to 30 over 10. So from here, you can say B squared is equals to 3. Now, I hope I'm not cutting. So now, if B squared is equals to 3, we can get the value of B. So doing that, getting the value of B, we can say, let's move here. So with B will be equals to what? Square root of 3. That is taking the square root of both sides. That's what I did. So now, the question did not ask you for the shortest or the smaller square, but ask for the dimension of the larger square. We are told that this A is 3 times of what? Of B. That is from A, 3 times of B. So which one is larger between root 3 and 3 root 3? It goes without saying that 3 root 3 is larger than root 3. So this is also a kind of question you expect. Let's check the third one. Now, the third question is also a quantity comparison question. Now, these are a little bit harder than those ones that we talked about, but there's nothing hard in GRE in as much you have studied all your syllabus and you have a good teacher and you're also as well ready to learn. Now, let's look into this quantity comparison question and see. This is C1, C2, C3 to Ci, and it continues like that. It's like a sequence. We are told that the sequence shown is defined by C1 is 7 and Ci plus 1 is 1 over 7 Ci. So it is more like a pattern recognition question. Now for each positive integer I, now we have to compare C12 and the quantity B is 49 raised to power 7 multiplied by C26. So now what I'm going to do now is that means in that sequence I'm going to look for C12 and I'm going to also look for C26. Then I'll compare the two quantities and see which is bigger, which is the same, and if I cannot actually solve it, I can also pick D. That is the way it is. Now let's solve this one together. Now solving this one together, I can just move a little bit here and say what I need from that one is that Ci is equals to 1, that is equals to 1 over 7 Ci. Now, that means, and I know the first term, which is C1 to be equals to 7. So I think this is like very simple for me to establish a kind of relationship between all this stuff. Like, for example, if I'm able to get the pattern of each of them, then it will be very, very simple for me to move on. Now let's get C2, because it says if I'm going to the next term, it will be equals to, look at this now, C2 will be equals to 1 over 7 times C1. What is C1? 7. So what is 1 over 7 times 7? That is 1. So if I move on to the next one, that means C3 will be equals to what? 1 over 7 times the term in which I am. That is what this is telling you. Because 2 plus 1 is 3. So that is a 1 over 7. Let's still move on. C4, because I don't want this thing to cut too much, will be 1 over 7 times the previous term times 1 over 7. I'll just write 1 over 7 raised to power 2, because I want to get the pattern. And let's go to C5. Maybe by 5 I'll be able to get it to be 1 over where I am times 1 over 7. That's 1 over 7 raised to power 3. So if I continue in that, what will be C6 now? If you can, now I think I have a pattern. It will be 1 over 7, that is 1 over 7 times the particular one I am, 1 over 7 raised to power 3. That's 1 over 7 raised to power 4. Now doing this, I think I'm good to go. I can tell you now that what I understand the pattern of this sequence. At least if I need C7, it should be what? Look at it. C6 is 1 over 7 raised to power 4. C5 is 1 over 7 raised to power 3. C4 is 1 over 7 raised to power 2. So C7 will be 1 over 7 raised to power 5. That is the pattern. So once you see this type of question, my dear student, just make sure you understand the pattern. So these are called pattern recognition questions. So if you watch this, now the next thing I'm going to do now is that to get C12, watch C12 on what we just talked about will be equals to, apologies, since I'm having a kind of overlapping, then I should be able to adjust that. This is back. So C12 will be like this now, it will be 1 over 7 raised to power 10. I hope this is understandable. Now, if that is the case, look at the other one. So I already know that this C12 is 1 over 7 raised to power 10. Now let's do the other one at the side. Let me move here. Now doing this one, the one there, quantity B. Now look at quantity B. We have 49 raised to power 7 times C26. How we know that C26 is 1 over 7 raised to power 24. I hope this is taken. So now, if we go with our indices rule, 49 is 7 raised to power 2 multiplied by another power. You can see 2 times 7 times 7 over 2. But sorry, that is times 1 over 7. Apologies. 1 over 7 raised to power 24. So this is 7 raised to power 14. Admin, I hope I'm not cutting. Now multiply by 1 over 7 raised to power 24. So now you can see indices. So this everything here is going to give us 7 raised to power 14 times 1 is that over 7 raised to power 24. Indices rule. When it is division, it is minus. So this is the same thing as 1 over 7 raised to power 10. I hope you can see that, because if you say 7 raised to power 14 minus 24, that's 7 raised to power negative 10. And you remember from your indices rule, 7 raised to power negative 10 is the same as 1 over 7 raised to power 10. And if you watch carefully, quantity B is exactly the same thing as quantity A. And that is why I said these are literally simple questions if you can recognize the pattern. So the answer to this is what the two quantities are equal. So I hope you get this. So now let's do 2 more. Instead I'm going to do 5. Yes, I don't know. Fine. Now these are also very common, but I think this is a straightforward question where you just tick what answers. In some cases, all the options can be correct. In some, 1 will be correct. In some, only 2 will be correct. So they will ask you to indicate all such type of what correct answers. So for this one, I think it's also going to fall on the easy mode for me. Now, which of these statements is true? Indicate all such statements. 1. 8 factorial multiplied by 6 factorial is 48 factorial. Now, if you have done factorial, you will know that 8 factorial times what times 6 factorial is far less than what 48 factorial. For example, if you want to show that because you are a beginner, 8 factorial basically is just 8 times 7 times 6 factorial, whereas 6 factorial is 6 factorial. So what I'm saying now is that if we say we are multiplying these together, it's like saying 8 times 7 times 6 factorial multiplied by 6 factorial. So what's 8 times 7? That's 56. What is common? You can do it anyhow. 6 factorial is common. Into brackets, you have 1 plus 56. Or whatever you want to do it. So this is 6 factorial. For anyhow, if this is not what you want to do, you can just stop here and check. Now look at 48 factorial. 48 factorial, the least number you have is 47, 46, 45. Look at this one. The highest number you have here is what? 56. then 56 times 6 factorial is like I said, if you are the type that know how to factorize, 6 factorial is common, 56 times 1. So now, you can see that what 48 factorial is large because it's larger than that. If you go with 48 factorial, my dear students, you are going to see that 48 factorial is 48 times 47 times 46, you know, like that, like that, like that. So it's far, far bigger than that. So this is wrong. Now the second statement is also wrong. 9 factorial minus 7 factorial is not true. Should we do that true? Look at this. 9 factorial minus 7 factorial. Just reduce 9 factorial up to 7 factorial. 9 times 8 times, I am doing 9 factorial, times 7 factorial minus 7 factorial. Just like what I did. So this is something that's just saying what is common. 7 factorial. 9 times 8 is 72 minus 1. I said, yeah, I think I'm right. So this is 72 times 7 factorial minus 7 factorial. You can see, is this thing equals to 2? This thing is far, far bigger than 2. So you can say that this is wrong. So if you've done 2 out of 3 options and 2 is wrong, like I said, in this type of question, all might be correct. So be careful about what you do. So the last one will be correct. But if you want us to prove that's true, you can prove it using 10 factorial over 8 factorial. We're told it's 19. Reduce this one to what you have here. 10 times 9 times 8 factorial. We know it continues till you get to 1. And remember, 0 factorial is 1. So you divide by 8 factorial. All you do here, cancel out 8 factorial. 10 times 9 is 18. This statement is very correct. I hope you get that. So the last question I'll do for today now is this. So the last one, yes, you can also come across questions like this. It goes without saying, you have to note that. So when you have questions like this, they don't come with options. That's one thing about them. These type of questions don't come with options. So I tried so much to actually pick different areas and how you can see questions from the GRE exams. That is exactly what I did here. So these type of questions, when you see them, there is no options for them. But because they don't have options, you have to provide the right answer. And you know fully well you are going to do statistics too. Statistics are going to be 5 questions. So you can't run away from there. So maybe in my next video lessons, I'll be doing some statistics question, and let's see how good you guys are in those topics as well. So looking at this, my dear student, look at this now. Figure is shown. We are told that AC is, I'll just be putting it, AC is from here to here is 5. We're told that BC is 2. So let's just do simple math. Everything is 5. This place is 2. This place will be 3. Everybody should know that. Then we are told that A is 8. That means everything here is 8. I'm not supposed to use that color. So it's 8. Everything there is 8. So now the question is, what is the area of rectangle AB? I need to know the, okay, ABDF. So we are looking for area of rectangle. Rectangle looking for a rectangle ABDF. Now to get this one, there are some things we need to keep in mind. Whenever we see triangles or shapes that are embedded in each other, the first thing that should come to your mind is similar triangles. So now what I'm going to do is that I can actually bring out similar triangles. Now for example, you can see if I'm looking for ABDF, area of the rectangle is length times breadth. So I'm just looking for length times breadth. God's so good, I know the breadth or the width, but I need to get this length. So how will I get that length? I have to compare 2 triangles I can see here. So there are 2 triangles that are similar to each other. We say I can see that. Look at this one. If you like, I can say BCD. That is a BDC. If you like, you say CBD. It is a triangle, and that is why the right angle is here. The right angle is here. So look at the whole big triangle. I'm taking ACE and say triangle. Look at this. ACE, which is ACE, is similar. Triangle AC is similar to the short one BCD. As you can see, triangle ECD. I hope you can see the short triangle and the big triangle. So when we have that, we say the ratio of the sides are equal. What we call similar triangle is just a type of triangle in which the ratio of the sides are equal. So I'm taking this class very calm because I want you guys to get it all on your own. There's nothing difficult in mathematics or in quantitative. Now look at this. I can say, okay, from there, so let me come, because I need to know these sides. So let me compare them to each other. Looking at it, look at the size for the big one, AE, like that, the way we write it, AE for the big one, correspond to what BD for the short one. I'm comparing these two triangles, you can see. So AE is the same because for this big triangle is the base, and this is the base for the short triangle. So it must be equal to, which side do I know? Okay, for the short triangle, for the big triangle, I know AC. Abi? AC corresponds to what for this one? Corresponds to what? BC. I hope you can see that. So substitute the value. AE is 8. BD you don't know. AC is 5. Hope you don't make mistake. 5. Then BC is 2. So what I'm doing here, when I cross multiply, I can see BD is equals to, you can see 2 times 6 is 16 over 5. So that is BD. BD is 16 over 5. So now that I know BD to be 16 over 5, you can decide to make it decimal, and that is 3.2 if you want, but it is not important. So I will leave it like that, so I know the dimension of that. So the question says triangle, area of triangle, ABDF, area of rectangle, ABDF. So therefore, just write rectangle ABDF will be equals to the length times breadth. So I know the length now, that's 16 over 5, multiplied by the breadth, which is also called the width, that is what 3 given. So answer to this is what 48 over 5. Please follow the instruction of the question. Some questions might ask you to leave your answer in 1 decimal place. Some might be what in fraction, some might be anyhow. So if you're grading like this, is also correct. So guys, I'll be stopping here. If you want to join our classes, this is the way we actually take classes. We are going to take it slow and steady. That is what they say once there is. So now this is where I'm going to stop. Like I said earlier, you can subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, more of some mentorship and stuff like that. You can write me on my mail or send a message to me on WhatsApp. I will see you guys soon. Do have a wonderful night or whatever you are. Goodbye. Thank you.